So how do you get that subscribe button on the screen, and how do you pick topics for your channel? And my channel is dead, so should I just delete it and start a new one? Plus, how do you keep the glare off your glasses? And what's the best editing software? Well, these are just some of the questions that I'm going to be tackling in this video. Hey there, Kevin Colby here, and this channel is all about helping anybody over 40 do video and YouTube. So what I did is I went through the channel, through the questions and the comments, and I pulled 10 of what I thought were the best questions this past month. Now, this doesn't mean the other questions weren't good. These are just questions I thought, that's a really good question. Most of these I answered, but I thought, let me expound on each one a little bit more because typically I see more than one person asking these questions. So I thought, let's dive into it and I'll share my experience and my opinion on it. So let's go. First question, that red subscribe button in the lower right of video. How do I do that? Can I edit my videos and get that in there? So what they're talking about is, here's a screenshot from one of my videos. And you notice down in the right-hand corner of the video, you see a subscribe button. You see the red arrows, they're pointing it out. That's what they're asking about. Now, here's the kicker. You don't add that to your videos. You actually add that in the YouTube studio. And so therefore it's automatically there when you watch a video. Now it's really easy to do. What you want to do is go to your YouTube studio, click on customization. You'll go to your profile and scroll all the way down, and at the bottom it's called video watermark. And if you noticed on this screenshot, you see the subscribe button. When you add it, now you can do it at the end of the video, custom start time. I do mine the entire video because quite honestly, I always want it there. So if somebody hovers their mouse over it, it will automatically prompt them to subscribe unless they've already subscribed, and then it'll just show that they've subscribed. Now, could you add that in the video? Absolutely, but just keep in mind where I have it, it's always going to be in the right-hand corner, and it's automatically served up by YouTube. Now, you could put anything there, like sometimes in the past, I just had my logo. One time I had a little, avatar, if you will, of me with a camera, but I decided just to make it a subscribe button because whatever you put in that corner is your video watermark. When anybody goes over it with their mouse, it's always going to pop up a subscribe option. So my thinking is just make it a subscribe button, and that way it kind of calls your attention to subscribe to the channel through watching the video if you see it. Because here's the thing, people may see your video and never be on your channel page. They may see it through browse or suggested or something like that. So why not give them the option to subscribe to the channel if they want to? So that's how you add it. And if you want your own subscribe button, I actually created one. It's totally free. I'll put a link to that down in the description. You can grab it and use it. How can I change the thumbnails in the chapters and timestamps? This is a great question, and you can't. Now, here's what they're talking about, and you may have seen this. You may have been watching a video on YouTube. You see that each chapter has a thumbnail on there. Those are automatically generated by YouTube. Now, you can manually add chapters to your video, or you can leave a setting on in your description and just have YouTube add them if they want to. Typically, that's what I'm doing now, and what I've noticed is sometimes if they deem the video is desirable of chapters, however they do it, they'll go ahead and add them. You can always overwrite it. But the thumbnail for the chapters is just generated automatically inside of YouTube. Now, if you have a graphic there for the chapters, it might pull that at that chapter mark, but you can't go in and change the thumbnail for each chapter. Would that be cool? Yeah, maybe. It's also something else to think about. What you can do is change the thumbnail on your video. You can actually use the one that it automatically generates when you upload it. You get 3 options. You can upload a custom thumbnail, or you can even upload up to 3 thumbnails. It's called test and compare. See which one you like. I do that most of the time with mixed results. But if you're just looking to change the thumbnail in the chapters, you can't, so just don't sweat it. Hey Kevin, I'm 68, soon to be 69, and looking to start a YouTube channel. Good for you. I know what camera I want to use, but can you please give a recommendation on editing software? I can tell you what I use, and I can tell you what I know about some out there. Here's the thing. You have to think about, have you edited before? If you've never, ever edited before, that can change what I would recommend. If you've edited some, that might change what I recommend. And I'm going to give you an answer. I'm just being very upfront. So I edit on Final Cut Pro. I'm a Mac guy. I love Final Cut Pro. It's what I edit on. Now, I also will edit some in Riverside. Like I'm using Riverside right now to record and edit this video. They're not sponsoring it, but that's what I'm using. But when I really get down into nitty-gritty editing and I want to do a little bit more, most of my videos are edited with Final Cut Pro. If you're on a Mac and you've never, ever edited, I would use iMovie. iMovie's free and it should come on your Mac, but for some reason it didn't. You can re-download it or download it for the first time. iMovie is very simple to use and it really kind of gets you in the habit of editing. If at some point you decide you want something more, and again, you're on a Mac and you've been using iMovie, I will always recommend Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is kind of like the bigger pro-er version of iMovie. A lot more options. I also think it's more visual than other programs. Now, I've edited in my life on Avid, on Premiere Pro. Premiere is a good program. I just got tired of paying the rent because with Final Cut Pro, you buy it once, you own it forever, and you can use it on multiple machines. So like, for example, I have Final Cut Pro on my Mac Mini, my desktop, on my MacBook Air. But there's other programs out there I haven't used, but there's DaVinci Resolve, there's CapCut, and then there's other ones that are more cloud-based. The problem with sometimes cloud-based is if your computer is not fast enough, you're going to get kind of laggy on things. I like editing programs that I download to my computer and I can edit that way. So those are the ones I recommend. But quite honestly, if editing is the only thing keeping you from creating, just don't edit. Just produce your video, go live or do it as live and just go. How do you keep the glare off your glasses? A great question and one I get a lot. So, if you look in my eyes, you'll actually see a little glare. So these are real glasses. I used to have reading glasses for a long time, but these are like real prescription glasses. And there's some type of anti-glare coating that they put on them after I paid them. It also has, I think, a little blue light too. So right now, even though if I'm doing this, you can kind of see the monitor in my glasses. The best way to do it is never, ever put the light right at you. So the light right now at my desk is actually above the camera and angled down. So if I move my eye right there you go. You see the light. But even the glare is kind of reducing the amount of light. The key is never put the light right in front of you. This is why I don't like ring lights at all, even if you don't wear glasses. If you wear glasses and you have a ring light, forget it. You're just going to see it. And it's just hard to do. I can't always keep the glare off my glasses, but I would say most of the time I do that by keeping the light up and angled down. As far as monitors goes, again, I'm on a Mac, but my monitor's a Dell. There's a free program I have called Quick Shade, and what it does is it will bring the brightness of the monitor down, but it doesn't affect the recording. So if I was doing a screen recording, it will still be as bright as it needs to be on playback, but it diminishes the brightness of the screen, so that's even less in my glasses. Because if I'm looking at something and it's all white, it's just kind of hard to see that. So that's how I do it. It's a little trick with lights and placement. How would you advise if you have a topic, but your target audience belongs to multiple language groups? Should you create a separate YouTube channel for each language or do something else? This is really a good question. I've got a friend that does a channel, The Father Effect, and for the longest time, he's done multiple videos on one topic in different languages. I mean, he's targeted like 4 or 5 of the languages. It's a lot of extra work. I also know of people having separate channels. So let's say you want one in, like let's say you're English speaking, but you want one in Spanish, you want one in French, you want one in German, you want one in Russian, or whatever it might be. Again, that's a lot of work and expense. Here's what's really cool. YouTube is rolling something out called auto dubbing. Auto, A-U-T-O, dubbing. And I just got it. And I got to tell you, it's a hoot. What it does is it automatically, using AI, will dub your videos into languages. Now, right now, I think they're only experimenting with a few languages. The goal is to roll it out to more and more languages. I think right now it's like Italian. This is what I have: French, Italian, Spanish, German, What was the other one? I forgot. There's like 4 or 5 languages along with English. What's really cool is the viewer, they can still watch your channel and they have the option of changing it to their language. And what it does is it just auto dubs it. So it's me talking and all the voices are different. And it's really kind of cool. Now, as of the recording of this, YouTube is rolling it out. And what they're doing is channels that are more educational, more informational, like this channel is, they're giving it to those channels first, and then they're going to keep rolling it out. As I understand it, every channel will have it. It has nothing to do with your subscribe count or anything like that. You'll have it. Where you find it is you go to your settings and you go to upload defaults. Now, this is the way you could do it so you don't have to change it all the time. And you'll see under advanced settings right there, automatic dubbing. You have a couple of options. You can allow automatic dubbing, or you can manually review the dubs before publishing, and there's a couple there. What I've chosen to do is automatic dubbing because I speak English. I took a year of German in college and didn't do that well. So I'm going to go ahead and let YouTube do it and auto dub it. So going back to the reason I'm mentioning all this is no, I would not start multiple channels. I would do a video. If you speak, let's say you're bilingual or multilingual, what would it be called if you can do more? If bilingual cover more than one, more than two, what I would do is do your main language in the language you're first most compatible, most comfortable with. Again, mine's English. And then two, the second thing you could do is maybe the one that you're most interested in. So let's say you're bilingual. Let's say you speak Spanish and English, but the audience you want to reach is primarily Spanish. Well, then I might do the videos in Spanish first, but keep in mind, you're probably going to get this feature. You're going to get this feature at some point and it'll turn on. So I would not, absolutely, positively not do multiple channels for this. Just know it's coming, and when you get it, you should get a pop-up inside your YouTube studio telling you you've got it. I have an old 6-year-old channel I don't use in years. So can I just go delete all old videos and change the name and picture and start with that same channel? Yeah, you could, but why? Why do that? So here's the thing. When you delete a video, it's gone. Absolutely 100% gone. There is no getting it back. What I would do is, and I've done this before, is you can unlist a video or you can make it private. Now, I've done a video on that, and if you want to watch it, there's the link down below where I go through all the settings, public, unlisted, private. I think I even cover channel memberships too. And there's a difference. But you have to understand, if you ever delete a video from your channel, it is gone forever. Now, if you have the original, you can upload it again. But if you don't, it's gone. The reason, though, even with an old channel, is chances are if somebody subscribed a long time ago, they've probably moved on. They're, especially if you're not active in uploading. And the reality of it is, just because somebody subscribes to your channel doesn't mean they watch everything at all. I subscribe to a lot of channels, and they're posting stuff that sometimes I don't even see just because there's so much stuff out there. So, should you rename it? Change the art? Yeah, maybe. Let's say you started with a travel vlog channel and you eventually want to change it to, outdoor grilling. Yeah, you might want to change the name of it. You might want to change, the cover art. You might want to do a new channel trailer. If you feel like your old videos absolutely positively don't fit your new topic, your new vibe, your new direction, just either unlist them, which means you got to have the link to see it, or just put them on private, and it's like they never existed. They're still there. And that way, if you ever decide you want them, you can get them back. How do people sync audio and video? Press record at the same time on camera and audio capture, or is there an app that syncs them? Yeah, there's probably an app out there, but it really can be easier than you may think. Typically what I do, if I'm shooting on my camera, it doesn't matter. If I'm shooting on my, DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or my Canon M50 Mark II, I have my microphone connected to the camera. Even if it's wireless, it's connected to the camera. Why? So when I hit record, I have one file that's capturing the video and the audio at the exact same time. So therefore, I take the SD card out, I put it in my computer to edit. I have one file that has both the audio and the video, so there's nothing to sync up. Or if I'm on my computer, like again, I'm using Riverside to record this, my mic is going in, my camera's going in, so it's recording one file, saving it to the cloud, one file with my audio and video on it. So there's nothing to sync up. Now, if you're using an audio recorder, so like there's something called like a Zoom recorder, I have one of those, not to be confused with Zoom, the horrible software. This is a recorder, and you record audio to that, and then audio to your camera. Final Cut Pro, for example, I can't speak for other programs. Final Cut Pro makes it easy to sync up those, because then you would have a video file and an audio file, and literally you can highlight both of those. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds with this, because if you don't edit Final Cut or you're new to editing, but basically one mouse click will sync your audio and video together. So those are the ways to do it. I am always going to recommend to record your video, your audio into your camera as you're recording your video at the same time, because it's going to save you a ton of time in editing. I have 2 questions. A little greedy, are you? Just joking. How you search what people are looking for. And second, I took a course where the teacher tells us don't share our YouTube channel and other media platforms because YouTube will not recommend our channel if we do that. Is this for real? Let's take these individual. We're going to look first one at how do you know what people are looking for? There's a lot of different ways to do this. And in fact, I think I did a video on how to find ideas, and I cover some of this. The easiest way is on YouTube. When you go to YouTube, go to the search bar and start typing something in. Type in whatever it is. Let's say that you teach salsa dancing. I just thought about that. I barely walk. I don't dance. But if you start typing in salsa dancing, you will start seeing what other people are looking for. Here's the key. Whatever YouTube shows you are actual search terms, actual topics people are looking for, ranked in order. Now, we don't know how much, so you usually get 10 ideas at a time if there's that many. So like I could type in Final Cut Pro and I'll see things like, tips and tricks, color grading, and then you can keep going. That is the easiest way. There's a lot of other things. You can even go to Google as well. But what I would do is just go to YouTube and start searching and seeing what people are looking for. Now, you can also use programs like vidIQ. vidIQ will do that as well and serve up daily ideas and things like that. But the easiest way, go to YouTube, just start typing things in the search bar and see what YouTube tells you people are looking for. So the second part is don't share your YouTube channel and other media platforms because YouTube won't recommend the channel. No, that's not true. In fact, I've never heard anything like that. So here's the thing. You can go to anybody's video, your own or anybody's on YouTube, and right below the video, there's a share button. And when you click it, YouTube gives you multiple ways to share. In fact, they'll even give you certain social media platforms you can share directly to. They give you the share link. They even give you an embed link. You know why? YouTube is fine with you sharing your video or any video with anybody anywhere because they want people watching on YouTube. The problem is twofold. Most social media platforms, name one, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, they want you on their platform. So no, if you share your YouTube video on your Facebook profile, for example, and you don't get a lot of traction, it's because Facebook does not like people leaving Facebook to go watch it. Now, there's some tricks and hacks and things like that. But no, YouTube knows where the traffic's coming from. It'll say external a lot of times, and external can count for things like social media platforms. I stopped sharing my videos on social media long ago, and it actually never hurt my growth. In fact, I've grown fine without it. Thank you very much. I let YouTube do YouTube because YouTube is just big enough. It doesn't need the help of the other medias. And the other thing you got to be careful about is if you're sharing your videos on social media and you're just saying, hey, come and watch this and subscribe and everything, people may do it just to help you, but it really doesn't, because if they're not opening an account, if they're not watching anything, it can actually work against you. So no, it's not that YouTube doesn't allow it or penalizes you. It just doesn't really buy you anything. So quite honestly, I'd focus on YouTube and let YouTube do its YouTube thing. Kevin, any suggestions for a YouTube group? I looked on Facebook and they all seem scammy. Or for subscriptions, what do you think about Reddit? First time I read this, and I think I responded to her, I thought she meant for like memberships. which I do have one. I have a channel membership, and if you're interested in joining that, there's a link down below. There's also a join button on my channel page. There's 2 levels. I'd love to have you join it. You help support the channel. Totally up to you. I thought at first that's what she was talking about, because I said there are places out there to host groups like Facebook, but there's also websites and companies that have them. There's School. I don't use it, Skool. I think it's crazy expensive. There's Mighty Network. I think Kajabi's got one. PayHip is where my site is now, and it's got a membership thing. But after I read this again, I think what they may be asking is, are there YouTube groups to join just to be with like-minded people? And I'm probably in fewer Facebook groups than I've ever been in my life, because either, they just don't fit a need anymore, or they kind of get, spammy and scammy, like you say, or I don't know. I feel like there's a point with some Facebook, this is me, some Facebook groups, they're just kind of there. I've tried Reddit before. I'm just not a Reddit guy. I'm in a Discord group. It was an invite only, a Discord group with a bunch of other YouTubers. And there's one thing that has us all in common. We're all Final Cut Pro guys, but varying sizes and things like that. And it's really robust. So if you're interested in joining a group, I would just search and see what's out there. If you have some creators you follow, see if they have a group. A lot of guys go to Discord, and see if they have one. Some charge, some don't. So hopefully I answered that. However the question was meant. Do these strikes add up? Okay, so what this was about, this was on a video I did about avoiding copyright music strikes. So the short answer is yes, strikes can add up. Now, you got to know there's community guidelines and there's community strikes, and they're different. So you can get a warning, which is not a strike. So if you ever get a warning, they're just letting you know, hey, you've done something that might skirt something. Now, even if you get a strike, you can appeal it. I know of people that have won their appeals, and I know of people that have lost their appeals. YouTube deleted one of my videos a year or 2 ago, and they claimed it violated community guidelines. It didn't. The irony is they suggested the video, and we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the bottom line is they upheld their ruling. I didn't agree with it, but we agreed to disagree, and they deleted the video. But I didn't get a strike. I got a community guideline warning, and then I had to take some extremely lame training. Come on, YouTube, extremely, and it basically then took the warning off. A strike is completely different, and you can get it for different reasons. And what I would encourage you to do is make sure you are reading through the terms of service. It is your responsibility as the YouTube channel creator and owner to know the rules. I see too many people ask these questions in groups, going back to groups, and then somebody goes, no, I think it's okay to use music you don't own. And they go, oh, okay. Don't do that. Know what the rules are. Even if they're gray sometimes, know what the rules are. You can get strikes for different things. You can get strikes for going against the YouTube terms of service and the policy. And you know what? It doesn't really matter whether you agree with them or not. When you sign up for your account and you use YouTube, you either abide by their rules or you don't. You can appeal. But the thing is, there's ramifications that come with each strike. So sometimes you may not be able to live stream or post for a period of time. But if you get 3 strikes on your channel, and I don't think they do like this. I don't think they give you a strike and it's just done. I think they give you a strike and then they let you know and they make sure that you know and maybe you can do something about it. But if you get 3 strikes and you don't appeal it, they will delete your channel. And I know some folks that have had channels deleted and it was erroneous and they brought them back, they being YouTube. But yes, if you are just willfully violating the policy and just screwing around, 3 strikes, you are out. But again, it's not immediate. They're going to let you know. I think they give you like a 30-day notice or something like that. So my recommendation to you, if you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to have a channel, you're going to post videos, know what the rules are. Read them, know them. You don't have to be a student of them, but you should know them and know what you can do if you get a strike. But it's better to know what you did wrong, maybe, even if it was wrong, and so you don't do it again. But yeah, 3 strikes and you're out. I really appreciate the questions, and hopefully you learned something here. If you got any questions of your own, you can always drop them below this video or on any any video I've done out there. And, I always love it too when you say where you're watching from. I think that's really, really cool. But that's totally up to you. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.